For almost 20 years, every effective GLP-1 drug has had one thing in common. You had to inject it. That changed on April 1st, 2026, when the FDA approved Foundio, the first truly restriction-free GLP-1 pill. No fasting rules, no strict timing, no injections. In this video, we're breaking down exactly how they finally solved the pill problem, what the actual trial data shows, the real safety profile, and whether a pill can genuinely compete with the injectables. Let's get into it.
Foundio, generic name Orforglipron, is a once-daily tablet developed by Eli Lilly, approved for adults with obesity or overweight with a weight-related condition, used alongside diet and exercise. It moved from FDA submission to approval in a little over 2 months, partly through the FDA's National Priority Voucher Program, which fast-tracks certain applications. It's already shipping through Lilly Direct, with retail pharmacy and telehealth access rolling out shortly after. So why did it take so long to get a GLP-1 pill? Most GLP-1 drugs, semaglutide included, are peptides, built like a chain of amino acid links. Swallow one, and stomach acid shreds that chain before it ever reaches your bloodstream, the same way a paper airplane gets torn apart flying through a storm. That's why injections were the standard for so long. Orforglipron takes a completely different chemical approach. It's a non-peptide small molecule, built more like a solid coin than a paper chain, sturdy enough to survive the trip through your stomach acid intact.
There actually was an oral GLP-1 pill before this, oral semaglutide, brand name Rybelsus, but it came with real friction. Take it first thing in the morning on a completely empty stomach with no more than a small sip of water, then wait a full 30 minutes before eating anything. Miss a step and absorption drops. It was less like taking a pill and more like following a strict recipe. Foundio's non-peptide chemistry sidesteps that entirely. Take it once a day, anytime, with or without food. Closer to taking a daily vitamin than performing a ritual.
Did you know, because Orforglipron is a small molecule rather than a peptide, it can be manufactured more like a standard tablet. Think ibuprofen or a common prescription pill, rather than requiring the specialized, temperature-controlled production and cold chain shipping that peptide injectables need. That manufacturing difference is part of why Lilly has been able to build up over $1 billion in pre-launch inventory to avoid the supply shortages that hit injectable GLP-1 drugs early on.
Unlike some of the newer injectables you may have seen covered here, Foundio activates just one receptor, GLP-1. If a triple receptor drug is a master key, opening 3 doors at once, this is a single key built to turn one lock as precisely as possible. Activating GLP-1 increases satiety, slows gastric emptying, and triggers insulin release, but only when blood sugar is already elevated, which is called glucose-dependent insulin secretion. That's the same core mechanism behind Ozempic and Wegovy. Foundio isn't introducing a new pathway, it's delivering a familiar one in pill form. Did you know? The GLP-1 your body naturally releases after a meal breaks down in your bloodstream within a couple of minutes. A once-daily pill has to be engineered to keep that signal active for a full 24 hours between doses. A very different design challenge than the once-weekly injectables, which stretch the same signal across an entire week. Normally, GLP-1 rises within about 15 minutes of eating, helps trigger insulin release, slows digestion, and your satiety signal peaks over the next hour or so. Then the whole thing fades within a few hours, until your next meal resets it. A once-daily pill isn't trying to copy that short spike exactly. It's built to keep a steady, elevated signal running underneath your normal meals for a full 24 hours, so your appetite regulation isn't just active right after eating, it's active continuously.
Did you know Foundio is the first non-peptide oral GLP-1 receptor agonist ever approved for obesity treatment? Every other approved GLP-1 drug, injectable or oral, is peptide-based. This is a genuinely new category of chemistry within the class, not just a new brand. FDA approval was supported by the ATTAIN clinical trial program, In ATTAIN-1, participants who completed the full 72 weeks at the highest dose lost an average of 27.3 pounds, about 12.4% of body weight, compared to 2.2 pounds on placebo. But it's worth being precise here. That number reflects trial completers specifically. Looking at everyone who started treatment, finishers and non-finishers combined, the average was 25 pounds, or about 11.1%, versus 5.3 pounds on placebo. Both are real, meaningful results. Just make sure you're comparing the same population when you see these numbers quoted elsewhere.
Did you know the gap between completer results and everyone who started results exists in almost every weight loss drug trial, not just this one? It's one of the most commonly misquoted numbers in this entire category of medicine, which is exactly why it's worth checking which population a headline statistic is actually describing.
Beyond the scale, the ATTAIN program also reported reductions across several cardiovascular risk markers: waist circumference, non-HDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and systolic blood pressure, improving across all tested doses. This matters because obesity treatment isn't just about a number on a scale. It's about the broader metabolic risk profile that comes along with excess weight.
There's one more trial worth knowing about, reported in December 2025. A first-of-its-kind Phase 3 study looking at what happens when people switch from an injectable incretin drug over to Orforglipron. The results showed people were able to maintain their weight loss after making that switch, rather than regaining it. That's a meaningful finding for anyone who's already had success on an injectable, but would prefer to move to a daily pill going forward. Switching doesn't appear to mean starting over.
Did you know a person on a once-weekly injectable takes roughly 52 injections a year? Needle fatigue and injection anxiety are documented reasons people discontinue GLP-1 treatment altogether, which is part of why a maintained effect oral option matters beyond simple convenience.
Now for safety, and this is a real boxed warning, the FDA's strongest label category: risk of thyroid C-cell tumors, based on findings in animal studies. This warning isn't unique to Foundayo. It appears across essentially the entire GLP-1 drug class, both pill and injectable. Beyond that, the most common side effects, each reported in at least 5% of patients, are gastrointestinal: nausea, constipation, diarrhea, vomiting, indigestion, abdominal pain, along with headache and fatigue. Additional warnings include risk of pancreatitis, kidney injury from fluid loss, low blood sugar, gallbladder disease, and aspiration risk during anesthesia or deep sedation. Again, largely consistent with what's already documented across this drug class.
Worth a quick myth check here. Switching from a shot to a pill doesn't mean switching to a gentler drug. The receptor being activated is the same, so the underlying side effect profile carries over. What's changed is the delivery method, not the biology.
Did you know hair loss shows up on Foundayo's list of common side effects too? It's not unique to this drug. Temporary hair thinning has been reported with rapid, significant weight loss more broadly, and is thought to relate to the weight change itself rather than a direct drug effect on hair follicles. Fasting rules and produces modest results. Wegovy and Zepbound, both injectables, produce larger average weight loss, into the mid-teens and low 20% range, respectively, but require weekly injections. Foundayo sits in a different spot on the map entirely. No dosing rules, once-daily convenience, and average weight loss in the 11–12% range. It's not claiming to outperform the injectables on raw numbers. It's competing on the fact that a meaningful fraction of people who'd benefit from a GLP-1 drug simply won't start one that requires a needle.
Did you know Lilly's own leadership has cited a statistic that fewer than 1 in 10 people who could medically benefit from a GLP-1 therapy are currently taking one, pointing to access barriers, cost, stigma, and treatment complexity as the main reasons. A pill with no dosing rules is, at least in part, a direct attempt to close that gap.
On access, Foundayo launched at $149 a month for self-pay customers through Lilly Direct, with eligible Medicare Part D enrollees able to pay as little as $50 a month starting July 1st,
and some commercially insured patients paying as little as $25 a month, depending on their plan. It's already available via Lilly Direct, with retail pharmacy and telehealth access following shortly after, and Lilly has submitted it for approval in more than 40 countries, with launches expected to follow shortly after each regulatory clearance. So here's where that leaves us. Foundayo isn't trying to out-lose the injectables, it's solving a different problem, making an already proven mechanism available to people who were never going to start a needle in the first place. The trial data shows real, meaningful weight loss and consistent improvement in cardiovascular risk markers. The safety profile lines up with the rest of the GLP-1 class rather than introducing new risk, and it's already available with a prescription today, not a someday. If you remember one thing, this isn't a stronger drug than what's already on the market. It's a more accessible one. And for a category where access is the biggest barrier, that might matter just as much. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more breakdowns as new GLP-1 data continues to roll in.